Hey, you guys, I'm getting myself together so I can go hang out for a little bit. But what I wanted to do was come back and share with you guys some of the information that I learned about um about food, okay? From my certificate in food nutrition and health. I'm going to save the last pointer for last, okay? Y'all not going to this is going to be okay, I'm going to say that for last, all right? But let me just share a few things that I think you guys should be mindful of, all right? Just a few things. I already took my quiz. I passed it. I got a 90 and I'm going to keep it. I'm not, I'm going to keep that's fine with me. I only got 2 answers wrong. I don't know. Out of 40 questions. But I passed it with a 90. So, my first parts is talking about like the diet, the dietary theory and macronutrients, micronutrients, things like that. But let me highlight, I did highlight some things. I don't want to go about reading all of this to you guys, but the third energy source for the body is fats, okay? So we know fats are called lipids, right? And they're the most concentrated form of energy and account for more than 10% of the body weight of most adults, okay? We know that carbohydrates provide energy. You know that the ChooseMyPaleoplate.gov have a new plate. Remember how when we were in high school and they showed you the plate should be vegetables, starch, water, and whatever like that. Now it's fruits, vegetables, protein. Okay. And then you have your water. And that's the new standard for food choices in the U.S. Okay. Y'all, there's a lot of different diets too. Let me go over some of the diets that's out here now. Some of the diets that's out here now. So these different diet types, you have your high fiber, high carb, low fat diet, right? You have, this is a low fat diets. This category, macrobiotic diet, consists of 50% to 60% whole grains, 20 to 25% vegetables, 5 to 10% beans and sea vegetables such as kelp, and 5% vegetable soup, nuts, seeds, fruit, and fish. That's the macro. Then we have the Pritikin diet, which is a low-fat, low cholesterol, low sodium, and high complex carbohydrate diet combined with regular aerobic exercise. Then you have the Ornish diet. I'm just reading a little bit of this. And it's developed to reverse the development of atherosclerosis and coronary heart disease. It's similar to the Pritikin diet and has similar benefits. The Ornish diet emphasizes gentle exercise and allows egg whites, non-fat yogurt, skim milk, and an occasional glass of wine. It excludes almost all other animal products and smoking. Then you have the Atkins diet, and this was developed in 1970, a high protein, low carb regimen with 4 phases. Phase 1, induction. Phase 2, ongoing weight loss. Phase 3, pre-maintenance. Phase 4, lifetime maintenance. Then you have the moderate fat, balanced nutrient reduction diets, and that's the DASH diet. It's flexible, balanced, and requires no special foods. Instead, it provides daily and weekly nutritional goals with these recommendations that's listed below. Then you have the vegetarian and the vegan diets. A vegetarian is a person who does not eat meat, fish, or fowl or products containing these items. The eating patterns of vegetarians can vary considerably and include the following from the American Heart Association: lacto-ovo vegetarians, vegan or vegetarian. Approximately 3% of U.S. adult population and 2% of adolescents in the U.S. consistently follows a vegetarian diet. For example, in India, an estimated 33% of the population is vegetarian. In the U.S., vegetarians are most likely to live on the East and West Coast. In large, while more than 0.5% of adolescents in the U.S. state they are vegans. Our numbers are so small. Then you have an elimination diet is an investigational short-term or possibly lifelong eating plan. It usually omits one or more foods suspected or known to cause an adverse food reaction or allergic response. Did you guys know with all these particular different diets? You have immune mediated. Usually it's found in food. It's a lot. Then you have the anti-inflammatory diet, which addresses like chronic diseases, affects more than 90% of Americans, believed and account for 7% of all deaths and more than 75% of the nation's medical care costs, y'all. Okay? Inflammation, right? So this is an anti-inflammatory diet. It's supposed to help with all kind of diseases, y'all. Cardiovascular, cancer, Alzheimer's, inflammation causes all of these health conditions, right? So, current research into the mechanisms suspected of influencing inflammation demonstrates that some foods contribute to the production of highly reactive compounds that can lead to significant inflammation and tissue damage, right, y'all? Then you have the raw vegan diet. A raw food diet, also called a raw vegan diet, is not a new diet. In fact, it was purported to have been developed by 1867 and 1939, a Swiss physician, a pioneer in nutritional research, right? This diet, I don't think it's... Many variations of the diet, and there is no general definition. A raw food diet can be practiced in several versions, including the vegetarian, vegan, but this diet, where did I read that? Raw food diets are considered extreme dietary regimens that have not been thoroughly studied yet, so that include fruits, berries, vegetables, nuts, seeds, herbs, and seaweed in their whole natural state. Alcohol, refined sugars, and caffeine are considered taboo. Supporters of a raw food diet believe that cooking destroys much of the vitamins in food and nearly all of the immune-enhancing nutrients, but currently no scientific evidence supports that. Then you have the living food diets, right? The terms raw food diet and living food diet are sometimes used interchangeably, but there is a subtle distinction. Living food diets emphasize the soaking and sprouting of raw foods in an effort to increase the activity of the enzymes in the food. So it's a lot. And then you have the paleo diet, right? And this is a food plan based on food similar to what might have been eaten during the Paleolithic era, which dates from approximately 2.5 million to 10,000 years ago. That's the paleo diet, also called the Paleolithic diet, Stone Age diet, hunter-gatherer diet, and caveman diet. The diet can vary slightly, but generally includes the following: fruits, vegetables, eggs, nuts, and seeds, lean meats, especially grass-fed animals or wild game, fish, especially ones rich in omega-3 fatty acids, such as salmon. This course is telling me all about the omega-3 fatty acids and the omega-6s, y'all. Oils from fruits and nuts, such as olive oil, coconut oil, walnut oil. Foods avoided in the paleo diet generally include grains such as wheat, oats, and barley, legumes such as beans, lentils, peanuts, and peas, dairy products, refined sugar, salt, potatoes, highly processed foods. I read that, and it also involves drinking lots of water and being physically active every day. Yeah. They say the benefits included with the paleo diet is more weight loss, improved glucose tolerance, improved blood pressure control, lower triglycerides, which is cholesterol, right? Improved appetite maintenance. Yeah. But the absence of whole grains and legumes, which are considered a good source of fiber, vitamins, and other nutrients. So that's the concerns with that, because it's absent the whole grains and the legumes. We know that that's good for us, right? The beans and things like that, and that fiber. And then we have the ketogenic diet. The ketogenic diet is essentially a high fat diet. It's not a new diet, but this seemed to have some good benefits too, y'all. The ketogenic diet, that's the one they say is good for like people with diabetes and all. This diet is essentially a high fat diet. It is not a new diet. It has been used in medicine for almost 100 years to treat drug resistance, epilepsy, especially in children. This is 70 to 80% fat, approximately 20% protein, about 5% carbs. This is the keto diet, y'all. It causes the body to burn ketones derived from fats instead of glucose derived from carbs. Most cells in the body prefer to use glucose as their main source of energy. In the absence of circulating glucose, blood sugar, the body will begin to break down fats into molecules called keto bodies in a person called ketosis. Yeah. Because it lacks carbohydrates, a ketogenic diet is rich in fats and proteins. The results in the following: increased metabolism, reduced sense of hunger, increased muscle mass, decreased blood pressure, and heart disease risk. This is a ketogenic diet. By reducing carbs down to 5% or less of a person's daily caloric intake, the diet eliminates most grains, fruits, starchy vegetables, legumes, and sweets. It includes plenty of meats, eggs, and they say processed meats, sausages, cheeses, fish, nuts, butter, oil, seeds, and fibrous vegetables, like broccoli and cauliflower and stuff like that. Individuals who might benefit from the keto diet include the following: those with type 2 diabetes. Listen to this, y'all. One study found that being in the keto diet for 1 year reversed diabetes in up to 60% of participants. On average, the participants lost 30 pounds, dramatically reduced or eliminated their need for insulin, and no longer needed hypoglycemic medications, like diabetes medications. Those with morbid obesity, if an individual has a body mass of over 40, if they have insulin resistance and without type 2 diabetes, the keto diet might be helpful. Research on mice studying the impacts of ketogenic diets on brain inflammation has shown promising results in these studies, blocking glucose metabolism, suppressing inflammatory genes, resulting in an improved healing after stroke or brain injuries. This has led to excitement about the possibilities of using keto diet to treat Alzheimer's disease, autism, Parkinson's disease, multiple sclerosis, sleep disorders, or some brain cancers. Those who should not be on the ketogenic diet include individuals who are very thin, those with an eating disorder, or certain metabolic disorders such as kidney disease. It is a restrictive diet, so it can be difficult to follow. Some patients may feel a little tired when they start the diet, and some may have halitosis, bad breath due to the ketones, nausea, vomiting, constipation, and sleep difficulties. It is extremely important to work with your doctor when following this diet. Then you have the natural hygiene diet. When an individual chooses the natural hygiene lifestyle, he or she seeks a diet free of moral, physical, and environmental pollution. This diet encourages access to fresh, clean air, pure water, moderate sunshine, regular exercise, adequate rest, fasting when appropriate, and a diet consistent with ancient cultures may have eaten. When the ancient cultures may have eaten this diet. Of all these lifestyle factors, diet is considered the most important. This diet supports healthy organic foods. Thus, the Paleolithic low-carb diet, omnivorous diet, lacto-ovo vegetarian diet, or vegan diet are all acceptable. So that's what I wanted to explain, y'all. Did y'all know it was all those different types of diets? But here's the last thing I want to share with you guys. Did you know, y'all listen to this. You may not have never known this. I didn't know this. Most individuals, now here's my second chapter here. My second chapter that I'm on. And this is nutrition, stress, and immune function. But listen to this, you guys. Most individuals enjoy sitting down and eating a delicious meal. Food provides an opportunity to socialize. And if the food is nutritious, it also supports a healthy body and mind. However, if individuals are stressed before, during, and after a meal, the nutrients they eat are not utilized as effectively as when people are relaxed. If stress also causes an individual to eat food that is not nutritious, health issues can result. Nutrition, stress, and the immune system are closely related. So the outcome of this course is for the learner to describe the relationship between food and emotions, explain the stress response, discuss the effects of stress on nutrition and health, define mindful eating and methods of eating mindfully, and examine elements of nutrition that support a healthy immune system. Did y'all know that how you feel before you eat, during, and after affects the nutrients that get to our organs and our bodies? Did you know that? Well, you just learned something new. So let me get going, get myself together, and get up out of here. Love, peace, and in Christ. Bye.